Well. Someone was in a little bit of a rush.
Yes. A little bit.
I didn't think that.
What's happening?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I didn't think that after losing Van der Beek, he'd be wearing their colours, but you know, we move. We move on after them ones.
It was that or my school polo neck, and I was like, "No, I'm taking this off."
Fair enough. Well, yeah, this is a slightly different stream to what normally happens. It's more of a transfer roundup of what happened in the window, because it seems stuff started popping off like an hour before the window closed.
It was crazy. I mean, there was all this speculation and stuff beforehand, really.
Yeah.
And such, and then yeah, it was just like, okay, is it happening? Is it not? Where are we going with this? Where are we not going with it? Are we happy? Are we not?
Literally 30 seconds before the deadline as well.
Literally right nice. Before the deadline. It's not. But yeah, we'll chop it up.
But yeah, I think we'll start off with Patterson, and we'll work our way around the leagues. But yeah, this is a slightly different thing. It's on both Eagle Eye Football and on my channel. So it will be a continuation of the little series I had going during the window. But yeah.
Very interesting transfers as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that with our business, I think it's very shrewd and it's enough. Because I think that the more important things are the outgoings, if anything, because there's a lot of loans and there's a lot of people getting experience, which I think will be very good.
Yeah.
But some people which haven't gone on loans.
I mean, Jez is the obvious one. You know, personally, I would have thought that it would have been good for him to get a loan move. Unless he's going to get drafted up to the first team, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, my original thoughts was, you know, I know Wilf doesn't need a rest. I know Ayew doesn't need a rest because they've both been resting, but we could probably, because Hartlepool are League 2, I'm not disrespecting them or anything, but we could most probably put them away without those kind of players there. So what's the harm in throwing Raksaki into the starting 11 for that football match?
That's a good point, and I mean we need him to gain as much experience as possible if he's going to be one for the future. You know, I'm excited about his prospect, but I don't want it to just be a prospect.
Yeah,
you know, I want it to be a case where like he's trusted. You know, you've seen what's happened now that we've chucked Elise in for a couple of games. He shouldn't be dropped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but there is also the fact of Elise has had at least 2 years of championship experience. He's got championship player of the year twice in a row, and Raksaki's not got that. Basically, I think that before he gets anywhere near our first team, he's going to have to go out on at least 2 loans.
Yeah,
I think he needs to probably tread the water in League 1 and then have a proper fight in the Championship, and then he'll probably be ready. Because going from Premier League 2 to the Premier League for real, that's too big of a jump for someone of his age, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not impossible. We have to also rule that out, because Elise's come straight into the Championship. Well, Saka went straight into the first team and straight to United. So
yeah, I mean, even if we will take this years back, I think Fabregas was 15, and Wenger just said, "All right, here you go, you got first team football."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, it's the same old adage: if you're old enough, you're good enough.
Yeah, and it's probably if you're good enough and how hard you work for it as well. Because if you've got a good work ethic, then people are definitely going to notice more.
Absolutely.
And I think because of the the notoriety that Rapsaki's getting lately. It looks like he's working for it.
100%. But it's clear that they know how talented he is. And this is what I'm saying. If the fact that they haven't loaned him out should signify that they want to give him first team minutes. And I'm hoping that this Saturday is that first chance to do so.
Yeah, that's just what we are talking about. If, buts, or maybes.
As always, yeah.
And that's the problem when it comes to talking about things like this. But, you know, hopefully Vieira's different to Roy and he'll bed him in because Roy only did it when he had to. And I saw a tweet earlier and it was actually very true. It was he only put Wan-Bissaka in because he had to, but the second Ward wasn't injured. He dropped Wan-Bissaka straight away. So let's just hope that Vieira's got it the other way around because he's done it at Nice.
Yeah, he has. Yes, and to be fair, like all the decisions he's made, even those like with some of them were like, oh, why don't you do it earlier? He hasn't really made a wrong step. Maybe obviously just substitutes, but I mean embedding players into this first team. Stuff. He hasn't yet. It hasn't gone wrong. We may have been upset as fans that it's not happened sooner, but it is what it is, and long may that continue.
The perfect example is probably Elisa, isn't it? We've bed him in 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and it goes up a bit. It goes to 25 minutes here, half an hour here, and then he got a whole half, and then he's starting nearly every game that we've played since the new year. I think I don't remember him in a game not playing. I think Afcon's rushed it along a little bit, but
that's definitely helped. Yeah,
but still, it's an upgrade. It's giving him more minutes.
100%.
Yeah, let's go through some comments. Big up, Jay. Luke. Oh, I saw it. He said it in his interview, didn't he? Plange.
I'm going with Plange, but whatever is our player.
Yeah, man like Luke. Looks like a great prospect and a good singing. Have you heard his voice?
No.
That's a little bit of a typo, I think. But yeah, good signing for the long term. It's good that he's gone back to Derby to continue his development. Listen.
Yeah, we played so well.
That was a very classy move from Parish. Yeah. He didn't even barter to get the money down because if he tried, we probably could have got that down a little bit. But he just paid the asking price straight up.
Straight up, yeah. Like no add-ons, nothing like that. Just here you go. There's the money. Take him, keep him.
And it was Parish's idea to loan him straight back as well, I believe. So he gave him the chance to finish what he started because Rooney's doing pretty well with them right now.
I tell you what. And to be fair to Plange, his goal against, I forgot who they were playing. Was it Birmingham? Yeah. Because they were 2-0 down.
Yeah, and he scored a winner against Millwall as well, didn't they?
There you go. He's fit right in.
So, but yeah, he's self-proclaimed himself to be a player that likes to get ball into feet and to run in behind. So, let's hope he's a little bit of a different type of player than we've already got. Because Edouard, big, strong. Mateta, big and strong. And Benteke. I want to touch on Benteke a little bit later.
No, 100%.
But, he could be... I'm not going to say he's similar to him, but he could be like a Dwight Gale type of player for us. More...
Benteke is gone, I reckon. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, more fox in the box kind of thing. Luke, Jay here again. Mateta has won by the fans with recent performances, and I never thought we'd get him permanently, but fair play to him, took his chances, deserved to be signed permanently. This is it.
Spot. Should we start on that? Well, actually, you finish the comments first, sorry.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on this one. The missus coming in. I'm guessing this is because we started a little bit late. Big up, Neil.
Big up, Neil.
If Tariq praises Eddie and Arteta in the comments, I'm timing him out. Big up Luke. Yeah, man, we're good. Just got home from
Doing
work.
good. Literally.
Big up CM. Glorious Botafogo.
Hey, he's come through. So basically, he actually has a channel which is dedicated to bringing the Botafogo news in English.
Okay.
Which is amazing because obviously I've been about looking around for a few, and they're mainly in Portuguese, and rightfully so. It's their country, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he brings it Botafogo news in English, so it's an easy way to track it and stuff, which is awesome.
Sweet. According to Derby Twitter, we're paying his wages as well.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
Yeah, I think that we're paying his wages, but we can't pay. We can't give him. I think we can't change how much he gets paid, or then it's classed as a transfer or something. It's something like that. Yeah, so he's not going to get his pay rise, but next season when the season's done, he's with us. He'll get his pay rise.
I'm just happy how it's all worked out because obviously they've got an embargo as well.
Yeah,
so
we'll touch on all of it. Big up Santi. Let's hope he's not getting. He's probably sitting there on a phone call and doing Photoshop at the same time. So
trying to work out the Wi-Fi.
Trying to reload his subscriptions to Only Pixels. Big up Brush. I've got. Well, you could talk about outgoings.
Yeah, there's definitely one outgoing we're going to discuss anyway. So
yeah, you've got one to a football club and one to not a football club. So
don't go there, JC. Don't go there.
Self-imposed embargo for United is peak. Similar can be said for Arsenal. They just decreased in strength.
Obama wingy, mad. He just went out and said, "Listen,
Obama gone, bro."
He said, "Go." He just went out and said, "Side B." That was it.
The thing that's funny about that is, I swear Arteta didn't like him because he was so late, but then he turned up like 2 days early to sign for Barca, and then he took a pay cut as well.
He's rude,
But Arsenal saved so much money with that though, because if they fulfilled his whole contract, they would have had to pay him an extra 24 mil. So technically, they're saving money. It's a very big technicality. Transfer window drier than the desert. 3 outgoings to the football club. Thank you very much. Man went out on a Valentine's holiday on his own.
Yeah, we spoke about I'm going to see family. Chief.
United asked about 19 million for a Lingard loan. Got themselves to blame. Listen, that was funny when I read that. Newcastle wanted him and they just said, listen, mad. Rush.
Big up, guys. What's going on?
Good. Tell us about this 19 million for a loan fee for Lingard. What happened there?
Nothing about that, bruv. We're run by absolutely clueless bellends, isn't it? What else can I say? The guy's contract is running out in the summer, and they were holding out for just silly fees. In the end, though, with Lingard this past week, I'm actually happy that we've kept him. In light of other recent events, I reckon it would have left us a bit too light had he gone as well. So I'm quite happy that we kept him.
Quick question on that. Why do you think he's staying and Donny isn't? Considering obviously Jesse's probably gone in the summer.
They're different kind of players, no?
I think with Donny though, I'm happy for him that he's gone. I was a bit disappointed that he ended up at Everton though, Rich. I think you guys under Vieira, honestly for me, would have been a better fit for him. So I was a bit miffed at the Everton move, especially now that they've got Dele Alli as well. Imagine if he finds himself on the bench there. Jesus.
But
So it's a bit of a strange one. With Lingard, I mean, they messed it up in the summer, innit? We really should have lost it. We really should have sold him last summer when we could have got 20 odd million for him. They waited, and now it's in his best interest really to wait till summer anyway. So he can just go anywhere. Why limit himself?
Good point. We got Stephen.
Big up, how are you?
Quick question: Did you have a worse window than Man United?
How many players have Man United got on their books?
What, 50?
Have you got more than 18?
Rush?
In the
You
first
what?
team?
Sorry.
Have you got more than 18 first team players?
No comment.
I've just had a look.
I can't guarantee if we've had a better window than them.
I've just had a look at Arsenal's outgoings, and they've got 15 players gone.
What?
So that's either out on loan.
I didn't know we had 50 players to get rid.
Well, 10 of them are youth team players, but you still got rid of Aubameyang, Balogun, Maitland-Niles, Kolasinac, and Chambers. Let me guess, you're going to claim COVID as well, yeah?
No, yeah, no, in this manager.
But it's
Mate,
all good because you
I'm
brought
not one of
brought
these-
in a reserve goalkeeper.
No, I'll tell you what though. I know it looks bad on paper at the moment for Arsenal, but I think they're clearing out everything for a big summer.
Yeah, but that's great. But you need to bring some incomings with that. You can't play half a season with 18 players, which is basically effectively 11 players and 7 subs. That's literally our first team. There's no spares. That is it. If we have an injury, we start a game with either 11 starters and 6 subs, or we start one from the academy.
Welcome to our world last year.
Yeah, yeah. Like this shouldn't be happening. Like what? I mean, people are gonna sit there and say, "Yeah, but it's Chambers. Yeah, it's Maitland-Niles." I don't care who it is, mate. It could be Bob the Builder down the road. Right? If you haven't got spare capacity to cope without that signing, you don't sell him unless you bring someone in. That's how it works. And yet
or at least have a plan to have someone in.
These fans on Twitter seem to tell me how it works. You weren't even born when we won the title, mate. So don't even tell me how it works. Don't.
Oh man.
Have you ever seen your club win a title? No. So don't talk to me. Don't.
Let me just address this comment real quick. You know what? Personally, like when the Donny news broke out, I went mad because, like, I'm a massive Donny fan. The way he plays football, and I thought he would work perfect because our squad's quite young, so to have a bit of experience in there would have been brilliant. Obviously, as the week went on, it seemed to drag, and I was thinking, maybe it's a salary thing because we're not going to be a club that just says, "Yeah, here you go. There's 120k a week." Like that's not us. Yeah. But then obviously, when Everton came in, I was like, "Yeah, that's probably it." Because obviously,
I think that did play a factor, didn't it, Rich?
That's
I think
a massive factor.
Yeah, I think you guys offered to cover about 80% or something.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he went, even with the salary and everything. I'm still surprised he went to Everton. Everton in free for a minute.
I think
but his wife's pregnant.
Every chance of going down right now.
Yeah, that's the other thing, innit? With his wife pregnant as well, this allows them to stay where they are, where they're settled.
Yeah, they don't have to stay home.
Yeah,
he's getting a naughty bonus as well if he keeps them up. I'm pretty sure I read that he's getting $500,000, 200k.
Oh, easily, yeah.
So obviously, we're only going to pay about 80k, and they're going to play the whole thing plus a bonus.
That's a mad bonus, you know. Because honestly, I don't think Everton are in serious threat of relegation.
You sure? They're 3-4 right now.
Yeah.
No, I think there's 3 teams worse off than them, though. Like, no.
I think the Donny thing is a bit of a double-edged sword, though, to me, because I think that if we got him, if he's brilliant, which he most likely would be, yeah. Oh man,
Oh
that's a
my
Wow.
god! Oh,
That's a
oh,
quality
man,
comment.
that's quality. Oh. If what's funny, we didn't even ask for a swap deal. That's how stupid we are. We didn't even say, "Can we have a swap deal instead?"
Yeah, because
Like,
a swap for like Dembele would have worked.
yeah.
But
He's
Dembele's
better
on
than
mad
They
money
said-
as well,
but,
innit?
but apparently we're managed by the best young coach in world football and managed by one of the best directors in football.
for the Rams.
Edu doesn't work for the Rams.
And I'm talking about Kroenke. He's buying bare
Oh
people
yeah,
for the
they'll
Rams,
fuck
isn't
him.
he?
No, here's the thing. They all hate the Cronkies, but they back the board that's employed by the Cronkies.
Yeah, the shirt will arrive with it.
But
we
then
know we.
the other day, no, but then the other day I was hearing on Twitter saying, yeah, but if I was looking at it right now, I wouldn't want to get rid of our ownership because we're in a stable position. I'm like, are you mad? Are you mad? You don't want to get rid of the Cronkies? What? They've torn our club
Yeah,
to shreds, and you don't
that's a
want to get rid
crazy
of them.
decision. Crazy
I would get
decision.
rid of them in a heartbeat. I don't care what position we're in. I'd take another 5 years of pain if it have to,
That's a fair
just
shout.
to get good owners.
I thought it was funny though that Oba got fined for arriving late at Arsenal. He arrived early at Barca.
Yeah, he could even make the late bus for the North London derby. Yeah, he made the early bus for the new camp.
It's crazy. Loris Botafogo, just on this, we had a few issues here in the UK with deliveries and stuff. So hopefully you get it soon. You know, I don't know what it's about this year, but it's been a terrible year regarding deliveries and stuff.
You know, they've stopped printing the third shirt now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just sold out too quickly. So all
Glad
their
I got
molds are
mine.
gone.
Glad I got my one.
Oh yeah, but
Do you
yeah,
think Blackburn fans bought them all
That's what
out?
you just see, but just below the
Probably,
football.
yeah.
but yeah, with the Donny thing, it's a double-edged sword in the sense of he would have been
Vibes, man.
brilliant, yeah. Yeah, he would have been brilliant, and he would have taken over that spot. We would have had Gallagher, Van der Beek, and another likely Hughes or Kouyaté.
Hang on,
there.
I need to correct the name here. It's Donny
Let's
van de
just-
Bench.
let's just say that's what it is. That means we've got 2 holes to fill in the summer, and I doubt we could fill Gallagher's shoes. So I think trying to fill Gallagher and Van der Beek's shoes is going to be an almost
It would be
impossible
too bold,
task.
yeah.
So I think only one is probably the best thing for the club right now. Just to future-proof ourselves, because I know we go back to Macca, but it'll be even though we love Macca to Van der Beek will still be a downgrade, unfortunately. But you know, that's where I saw it. I think it'll be good for this season, but it'll kill us for next season.
I'll tell you what, one person I was actually annoyed didn't get a move was Dean Henderson. I was really hoping he would go somewhere.
Can I say something on that? I'm actually happy he didn't.
Why is
Because
that?
it gives us a chance to get him now, because we wouldn't, because we couldn't sign him anyway. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, no, if he goes to like a Watford or a Newcastle, it might help them sign him permanently and stuff. So on the selfish aspect, I'm like, yes, okay. Hopefully we can look at him in the summer. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get a move either.
Yeah, that guy, he deserves first team football, man. It's just, and we've got Tom Heaton as well, who I think is an able deputy. There's no need to keep Dean there.
I think with United, you got 2 players there that we want.
I think Watford would have been all right, Rich, because I don't think they would have had the financial capacity to make it a permanent move.
They probably would have sacked Henderson anyway.
How long do you think Roy's gonna last?
3 weeks.
Mate, I'm still dying of that. Of what Lineker said. You know, I'm surprised you gave Roy such a long contract, even though it's just till the end of the season.
Crazy. Mateta. Aye,
Yeah.
he's turned things around.
He's kicked on his form a little bit,
Yeah.
and he's done what he needs to do, and I think he's won the fan base back a bit. I think that everyone was gassing this guy, saying, "Yo, I'll send him back in January."
Yeah.
I think we was even saying it ourselves, but obviously we've been proved wrong, and I'm happy to be proved wrong because £7.2 million, Rich, for a
That's-
Someone just say
24-year-old.
Holland goes to Arsenal and what is he smoking?
Stephen, don't get triggered by the comment section. Don't get triggered by it.
This mate, I don't know what it is, mate. You're smoking. Can I have some? I need it, mate. Jeez.
Yeah, Rich, tell me about this new guy that you signed because I saw your tweet and I was like, who?
So he was at Blackpool, I believe, for a bit, and then he went to Derby.
No, he's at Arsenal Academy.
All right.
Right, okay. And he's
Then
a
he got-
striker, is he?
He got released by Arsenal, got picked up by Derby. Derby kept him in their 23s for a little while, and then Derby striker got injured, so he got fast tracked into the first team. Scored on his debut against Millwall, and he hasn't looked back really.
Okay. How old is he?
Okay.
He's 19.
He looks techie though.
Yeah.
He's
What
he's
was
fast,
before
and
you
he's
mentioned about the goals thing, when he started scoring after his first goal, I was going to say, yeah, he's been at Arsenal's academy, but so was Carlos Vela, and that didn't work out very well, did it? Like, we've had a number of people we've had at our club, and it didn't work out.
That's all right. You still got Nketiah.
the English Yaya Sanogo.
Yeah.
Talking of, I hear Yaya's a free agent right now.
He still plays football.
If mate, yeah, has he not actually given up his career and become a postman yet? 'Cause I swear that's
Yeah, I
what he
read an
wanted
article earlier today about current free signings who are available, and he was on the list along with
to do. Maybe
Diego
he's gonna
Costa.
finger, he can be his assistant.
That's mad. Glorious. Yeah, City are winning the league.
Yeah.
It's just that.
We didn't need striker in 15-16. We had Yaya Sanogo. Yep. Still,
But yeah, man like Luke, he could play along the whole front line, left wing,
Yeah.
up front, and right wing. And he's got a left peg on him. He's a left-footed player, so you
mate,
know.
the guy is not good. He's appalling.
What he does now that Aubameyang walks away.
Mate, I don't know what's worse. Like, some of the chances he misses, like, is literally 1 yard in front of him and he can't shoot. I mean, like, I'm probably like one of the worst strikers you'll ever meet in your life, but even I could score some of the chances he's missing. I'm not even lying. The Sanogo, I actually do feel a bit sorry for, to be honest, because the start of I think the first season we saw him was 14-15. We didn't have a striker. Didn't have a proper striker or replacement for Giroud, who was still out. And he was just sort of thrust into it, which wasn't fair. And he was thrust into it as a kid, way too young. And his career really went downhill because of that. So I blame Wenger for that, to be honest.
Oh,
Mate,
You know,
gosh.
in
another life, in another dimension, he is.
the thing that confuses me with the Arsenal situation and Nketiah is that he's out of contract in the summer, correct?
Yeah.
And by the sounds of it, he doesn't actually want to stay at the club.
Can I just make a point here? When Balogun comes back on loan, he's our only striker in the summer.
You're lucky
Lacazette's
that
gone, and Nketiah's gone. That'll be our only striker. Apart from maybe Martinelli, you could probably bring into a striking position, but we keep playing him on the left, so he's never going to get a chance.
You know why Nketiah is holding out to become a free transfer? So when he ends up at a club, he'll get a bit more dosh in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he's doing that.
Yeah, but this is my point, and people tell me to back this man. They keep telling me to back Arteta. Why? You strung our squad to the bare bones, and now you're gonna have no striker in the summer, and you don't even know if you're gonna get the target you're gonna get. unless you're going to pay way over the odds. Because now what's happened is you've got no. Now everyone knows we've got no striker in the summer. Everyone's going like, ha ha, you've got no striker. Here's an extra 30 mil on that price tag, mate. You're going to have to pay, instead of 70 mil, you're going to have to pay 100. They're not stupid. And then we're just going to have to go, all right, sir. We'll just have to bend over.
Well, I saw something on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, and someone got all of our transfers from the summer window and this January window, and our whole rebuild cost less than Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah.
Yeah, our whole rebuild cost us, I think it was 69 million, and I think they spent 72 on on Pepe.
To be honest, like Pepe gets a lot of stick, and half the times he doesn't get the opportunities to deserve that sort of stick, in my opinion.
He's not a bad player, in my opinion. I just think it's a price tag that he can never live up to.
If you put him at a club that knows how, with a manager that knows how to use him, he would be a baller. I'm not even gonna lie, because you see it, traits of it. When we play the way he wants to play, you see it come out, and he's an absolute baller. But the problem is, he's got a manager who doesn't know how to use him. But then again, he doesn't.
Funny enough, I think he would do a decent job at Palace.
Who?
Pepe.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm keeping Elise. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think we're covered in those areas, to be fair.
But like, all he needs is a manager who knows how to use him and in the right style of play. What he needs is like someone who could feed the ball in front of him to run onto and play with an overlapping fullback. If you do that, he tears it up. Absolutely tears it.
Rich, I think we should move on to the club that I think's probably had the best window in the Premier League. Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston Villa. Quality.
Go on then.
That loan signing of Philip Coutinho. Before we go in there, Statman Dan, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, everyone. How are you all?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Fresh trim and everything.
Yeah, I've got to have it ready.
Yeah, he saw my roast about my hairline. He was like, "No, I'm not taking no chances."
I had to cover myself.
Mate, there's more gaps in his hairline than Arsenal's first team.
Oy.
Sin bin.
Oh. So, yeah.
But yeah, Dan, just because you come in, what's your complete overview on our window? Like, people we missed out on, people we got.
I thought it was fine. Honestly, if we had done no business at all, no in-goings, no outgoings, I would have been more than happy with that, to be honest. Because I think probably the first window in a long time, I was happy. I was just happy with the squad we've got at the moment. And I think the problem with the January transfer window is that it's always overpriced. Generally speaking, you only get teams going for stuff when they really need it, like Newcastle, for example. So I don't think we needed to do it. And I thought it was fine. Obviously, I'm happy now with the signing of Mateta and that new Plange kid for a combined total of 8 or 9 mil, something like that. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I don't know much about this Plange kid, but I had a look on what the Derby fans were saying. They all seem gutted that he's leaving, so that's obviously a good thing for us. Also, another slight side note, I'm actually really happy about how Steve Parish and Palace actually handled that transfer. I think it was very, very good of them to pay over the odds because his contract's up in 6 months, I think. He's up in, so to pay £1 million for someone whose contract's up in 6 months and has only played I think he's had 8 first team appearances for Derby in the Championship. and has scored 3 goals. So I think that's nice. And also working with the EFL to make sure they get the loan back, like we had with Zaha all those years ago. So yeah. So I think overall it's been a good window.
This is spot on. Our overhaul of the team in 2 windows has been phenomenal. Like, the transformation we've had.
And Rich, you mentioned that this kid's quite techie, so again, this speaks to the long-term vision of Patrick Vieira, and the structure and the transfers that you're bringing in,
and the value of the players as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, to not spend
like a hair.
like a hairline. But yeah, look at the players. Look at the players.
It's the stress of playing for Arsenal that's made him lose his hair.
Yeah, it's the amount of money we've spent on each player. But then you look at the amount of money we spent, and also look at it and think, how much could we sell him for? Like, for example, Elise. Hopefully we don't sell him, but we bought him for 8 million. What price tag could we feasibly command for him right now?
Well,
if 45, 50 mil.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. And you're looking at that, and you're looking at £42 million profit. And that's insane for a club like us. And he's only going to get better, and the market's only going to inflate even more. So that money's just going to keep going up.
Yeah,
Same thing with Eze. 15 million. Come on, 30 million these days. I think he could probably command 30 million for Edouard. Now he's proved it in the Premier League. Like, all these players we've bought in the summer, you're probably already making a profit on them.
That was one. Me and Rich discussed that in the summer. We couldn't believe that it happened for the fee that it happened at. Thought it would be more expensive.
Yeah, like some of the signings we made were just mad. Like even Will Hughes, I know he was injury prone, but that was like 5 mil.
Yeah.
It's such good business.
Yeah. And for example, what about Mark? Where would he be?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, exactly. I mean, I think he was unlucky not to get picked for the England squad, to be honest.
100%. But he's captain of the 23 of the 23s now, isn't he?
Oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, the only player I'd say of a similar age that's come into the league and taken to it as well is probably Fofana last year.
Oh yeah.
I think Konsa's getting into his groove a bit now.
Yeah.
As well. So the future for England centre backs ain't looking too bad, is it?
No,
get Ben Shite out.
Some good players coming through.
I see what Vieira wants at Palace, and you actually worried at any point that if like Arsenal continuing this like up and down, whatever they want to call it, spiral that we're in, and Crystal Palace seem to keep improving, that the board might try and look at Vieira as a replacement, because that's my theory. It's not my ideal choice, by the way.
Look, I don't mind.
My choice would be Van Dijk. Would be Ten Hag. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's a case where you can bring in a manager who has the same mold, because what we've now done is we've taken ourselves away from Roybal and Allardyce. Where we've taken us, we're actually a ball playing side now. So now we can hopefully look at ball playing managers in the future. So
there's a lot more of them these days than there are the other way around.
Yeah. So hopefully that would.
I just saw one comment saying like 2 new players, El Neni and Pepe. That sums our fan base in a nutshell. That's our fan base in a nutshell.
Mohamed El Sideways.
How to explain this window and not give Arteta the blame? We've got new 2 players coming back from the AFCON.
I saw that I heard a lot of your the one players you've gotten rid of. A lot of them didn't really play for you anyway.
Yeah.
Was that not true?
But the problem is that You know, there's always going to be players that don't get a lot of game time at all. But in the when we've been moaning all month about COVID, having games called off, and most of our players been out AFCON, players like Chambers, Maitland-Niles, you're giving them Maitland-Niles, and then next week you're saying you've got no midfielders to play against Tottenham, right? So, I'm sorry, in these circumstances, you should be using what you've got in your squad. You shouldn't, and if we get any injuries, who's going to replace them? No one. You can't put a kid in there. How can you put a kid in there? That's not fair. So this is the point, right? That's why Chelsea are the side they are. That's why Man City the side they are. They have squad depth.
Yeah.
Right? So
True.
I'm sorry, right? Arteta, Edu, and Vinay have got a lot of explaining to do about this whole window, and all of a sudden, because they realise it's all blown up in their fan base is going mad, they've all shut their mouth because they've got no way of getting themselves out of it. They've got no way of spinning it. They'll find some way, but at the moment they've got no way of spinning it. They'll probably win the next game and they'll probably say, "Yeah, it's alright, it's not wise. This is what we intended in the first place." Right?
Yeah.
And already I've had people sitting there saying, "Well, how is it Arteta's fault? Well, he's the bloody manager, isn't he?" Well, last time I heard, the manager gets to say what he wants and what he doesn't want, and gets to say what he wants to get rid of at that point and what he doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's what has happened quite well at Palace, is that Vieira's obviously got a certain way to play, and then Parish and Dougie have obviously listened to what he wants and tried to find him players to play in the way he wants.
Oh, that's the thing. They've listened, but the thing is, this comes to the fan base. Right? The fan base are finding that because they can't criticise Arteta, they're now criticising the board or the owners. Right? It's got nothing to do with Arteta at all. Right? Okay. So he's not a manager, then he's a head coach. Which one? You keep saying he's a manager. You keep saying he's been magically like moving this club forward as a manager. Well, he should have direct control of what comes in and what comes out. Right, along with Edu and Vinay. I don't blame them as well. They're another part of the problem. But to sit there and try and say that Arteta's got nothing to do with it is just typical of this fan base, to be honest. Right? And this is why we don't get more than what we demand. We don't demand anything. We'll find anything to accept what's going on, and that's how we can improve in the end. Because this fan base doesn't demand better. Most of these people that keep saying about this Arteta and saying it's not theirs to blame, like I said, half of them weren't even alive when I watched this win the title, and yet they still tell me how it works.
We do kind of have that element at Palace as well, where you get it at every club, to be honest. Like some people, you know, they'll hear criticism of certain people and players, and you know they'll say the same thing without without looking at it factually, I guess.
But the thing is, Dan, is you would understand it if it was Wenger because of what he's done for the club. This guy's done nothing apart from be a player for 4 years and win his 2 FA Cups and one as a manager. He's done nothing. Right? He has won nothing to deserve the more like the adulation that he gets and more respect he gets than Wenger did. Wenger didn't get this much love. I'm telling you.
No, he didn't. He famously didn't get any love towards the end.
No. Because people wanted more than top 4. They wanted more. But now all of a sudden they want to accept 8th.
Well, yeah. When we talk about trying to grow the club. I think some of our outgoings have been very similar to that, like the Jacob O'Brien to Swindon, Ollie Webber to Portsmouth, Rob Street to Newport, and like other like us loaning out players like this is only going to be good for us in the future, because the only one I've really kept track of is Jacob O'Brien, and he's walked straight into their first team, hasn't he? He started every game apart from the Man City game since he's been there. And I've not been watching the games all the way through, but some of the highlights, listen, this guy's got a ping on him like Henderson does.
Yeah, I think the loan system has been quite successful for us recently. So who was a Swindon player? Was that Jacob Bryan?
Swindon is Jacob Bryan.
Yeah. So he's been doing very well with them. And I guess with that as well, you get a good gauge of like if they are good. Like, I mean, if they're not good enough to play at that level, then are they good enough to play at Premier League level? Then I do always get, it's always a bit weird because like I can't remember who it was. It was like Hiram Boateng for me was an example, but I thought like, for example, he did quite well with Plymouth, but then they decided not to take him any further and they sold him. So it's always an interesting one.
Who do you guys think have been the signing of the window?
Player-wise, you mean?
Yeah, player-wise.
I think it's got to be Luis Diaz to Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a proper baller.
If you're talking player, he's...
That's a good
I don't
shout.
know. I've probably got an outside shout that by the end of the season he'll kick Mané out of the first 11.
I think that's exactly what he's going to do. I think they're going to phase Mané out.
Because I think that he's so good that he'll just be knocking on Mané's door every day, every match, saying, "Look, this is what I bring to the table. I've got all these attributes."
It's actually turned out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise for them because they have Mané as well. Because initially they only wanted to sign Diaz in the summer. It was Tottenham's interest which made them, pull the trigger early. And now he's just got, the rest of the season, this season, just to acclimatise to the league. And with Mané in front of him, there's no pressure really. So, I think it's really good.
And also, it strengthens their front line as well, because if they really wanted to, I doubt they would, but they could do what Egypt have done. They bang Salah up front, and then you still got Mané and Diaz on each side, and then you still got Jota on the bench. So you've got some serious firepower in that front line at Liverpool.
It's scary, isn't it?
It is bad.
I'll put one out there, and it's one that's really pissed off. Arsenal fans on.
And that Carvalho kid looks decent as well. They look to be getting him in the summer.
Yeah, we were interested in him.
Yeah,
we were very interested in him.
I was going to shout one out from Newcastle's a good Aries.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
Yeah, that's the Bruno that we needed, Rich.
Yeah.
For me,
next minute he'll be asking for Frank Bruno as well.
For me, Premier League wise, I would say Julian Alvarez. He's just going to give City another dimension, to be fair, which is quite scary.
14 million, Rich.
It's mad. and Tottenham were trying to power off Harry Kane for 100 and something. Harry Kane's finished. He can't go nowhere now. If I'm going to say outside the Prem, I'll say Dennis Zakaria for 5, not even 5. It was £3 million, isn't it?
I think it was like 3 or 4 million. I think it was 5 million euros, wasn't it? So
yeah. So it's about £3 million to Juventus. That is a madness.
That is so cheap, Jesus.
If you talk about Juventus, you've got to talk about Vlahovic, man. That guy scores goals for fun, and he's still 21 years old.
True.
Right, lads, enjoy the stream. I've got a meeting to jump onto.
Cool.
Oh, okay. All right.
Later
a
in.
bit rich.
No,
Later, mate.
Yeah. I saw this comment, and you got to bring it up as well. That signing from Burnley
yeah, it's a good sign.
is
You know,
immense.
I did a bit of research on that because I was thinking, hang on, 6'6" German player. I was thinking, is this a German Peter Crouch? Is it? And I was surprised actually because I thought, yeah, like that's a really good signing. And obviously, I've never watched him play, so I can't comment like on that. You know, but I was surprised how low his how few aerial duels he won this season with Wolfsburg. Again, I don't know if that's because of how they play. I don't know if like they just lump up, you know, crap passes to him or what. But it's only at like 50% or something, which is like it's less than Mateta. Yeah, exactly. So I was a bit surprised, but obviously they needed a striker, and I mean, could you think of a more Burnley signing than a 6'6" striker?
Yeah, but then again, though, if you're Burnley and you're seeing that, and you've got people who can whip a good ball in the box like
true,
Cornet and McNeil, then you got to be thinking, listen, decent ball in the box. Donny don't even have to jump; he just goes. And he's hitting the ball. So
yeah, exactly. I've got I actually started doing a like an image or a graph of the most efficient crosses of the ball, and funnily enough, 2 of those players are Burnley players. Like, so according to the stats I got,
I'm gonna guess it's Brownhill and McNeil.
No, Charlie Taylor. I don't know if he's a fullback. I know he's either a fullback or a wide midfielder. I can't remember though. But McNeil and Charlie Taylor. McNeil has whipped in around about 55 crosses, and 27% of them, roughly, are completed. Whereas Charlie Taylor whips in just under 40, and is at about 28%. And those two, in terms of like actual percentage, those 2 are in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the top 15 in the league. So, you know, so if they can get balls onto his head, then I think it'd be good for them.
Yeah, and I also think that the Brentford signing of Christian Eriksen, that is a hell of a signing for them guys.
And what a wonderful story as well, man. I'm just happy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Christian's made his
100%.
comeback.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping it goes well. Obviously, he had to have his contract cancelled in Italy because in Italy you're not allowed to play with a pacemaker.
Really?
So, yeah, they don't allow it in their league. Because I know Daley Blin's got one at Ajax, but yeah, in Serie A they don't allow it. But yeah, no, I'm hoping he can get back anywhere near his best, actually.
Oh yeah,
what exactly
definitely.
is the pacemaker when it comes to a football match?
What's that? Sorry.
So what exactly is a pacemaker? Is it just like so he doesn't run too much or something like that?
No, it's to help his heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's to help the heart rate.
Yeah.
It's in case it
It's not
stops, it
coming
sends a
down.
little shock and sort of restarts everything up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The NHS says it's a pacemaker is a small device about the size of a matchbox or smaller that weighs 20 to 30 grams. It consists of a pulse generator with
Yeah, it's like a pulse. It's basically pulse generated. I think what it does is like Bosch said, it just sort of gives that little shock to the heart if it does stop at any point.
Well, you said about the best signing of the summer of the January. Who's the worst?
worst.
I think for the money, if you're talking money, I think that Mateta smashed it here.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if Chris,
£40 million.
It's heavily incentivized, though, isn't it? So I don't think they're going to end up paying half of that.
Yeah, no, but
was that actually true, that Dele Alli figure? I thought it was like 10 mil or something like that. Or
so at the moment it's free. It's 10 million after he makes 20 appearances.
Yeah.
And it could potentially reach 40 if he with all the add-ons.
Whoa.
But I'm sure that's like crazy stuff in there. I don't think he'll reach any of that, to be fair.
That is silly. I mean,
Ferran Torres to Barcelona.
He's on a 2.5-year contract as well, so I can't imagine, he would hit everything that he needs to, so that they pay the full amount.
Yeah. And I'd say with a
like
shorter contract, I bet his wages are a bit extortionate as
he's
well.
still only 25, which is the crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about who is it? He was who went to Barcelona? Ferran Torres to Barcelona, 55 million.
I think probably a good deal for City. They've made they haven't. I mean, because he's only there for a couple of years, I think they've made money back on it if you like work it out or something like that. So obviously that's a good deal for them.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to head off.
I agree with vibes. I reckon the worst signing's probably Barca signing Adama Traore. That was so random.
Yeah, I didn't get that. The thing is, I hope Laters, take care. The thing is, I hope with Barcelona, I mean, they're just a bit of a mess for a club, aren't they? Like the last couple of years. Like, I think as long as they're not looking for a player that is going to get them goals and assists, then that's fine. I mean, like if they're looking for a player that will take it like all the way up the wing, give it to someone else, and then they can score, or someone else and then they can assist. Then,
with
Adama,
fair enough. That giving it to it's the final ball that lets him down.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've seen so many people say that he's an absolute monster until he gets into the box, and then he just flops.
Yeah. Well, there is another reason why they bought him. There's someone to model the large shirt.
I mean, to be fair, those biceps, I mean, they're the same size as my head.
Yeah, and he says he doesn't even hit gym, and you're thinking that's
gotta
be lies.
He's got to be talking nonsense, bro. That's mad.
That is nuts.
Yo, vibes hit it here. He's a hench Dan James.
Yeah, that is true.
I'll be very surprised if they sign him permanently. I think part of the reason was probably like to just try and force Dembele out.
Yeah, true. I saw a funny tweet the other day actually that was like something like, but PSG now have the best Barcelona player, the player that Barcelona paid too much to try and keep, which is Neymar, and then now they've got Ousmane Dembele as well. I think worst signings for me, and this is probably going to be a bit stereotypical, but I thought 27 mil for Chris Wood is not good.
Listen, if Steve Bruce was the one that made that signing, I reckon people would have properly gone in on it.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is with Newcastle is that in a way, like the whole them having Mike Ashley not spending anything, for them in a way was actually a bit of a blessing in disguise, because then it means that now they can spend, and like they've made some decent signs. Like, I think Kieran Trippier for 13 mil, that Bruno for 37 mil, like those are good signings. But like Chris Wood for 27 mil, what does he add that they don't already got?
Yeah, Santi's got a good one.
I think it was the fact that Callum Wilson's injured, isn't he? So I reckon if they stay up, I reckon Chris Wood's gone in the summer. It's one of those. I think the turnover will be quite quick with players at Newcastle now.
Yeah, true.
I think another shout isn't necessarily a signing. I think it's an outgoing. I think it's Norwich letting Cantwell go on loan to Bournemouth.
Yeah, to Bournemouth.
When is he like? Because I haven't really heard much from him this season. Because not last season, the last. Oh, is he not? Do you know why?
I think he had a falling out with Daniel Farke, but I'm not sure about why he's not playing under Smith though.
Interesting.
Because that manager, he would try and impress, but I guess not.
Yeah, exactly. And he was really good that season. Well, the last season there in the Premier League. So what, 2 seasons ago?
That Sargent looks a tidy player for them.
Yeah. I've just spotted. I've just been looking through all those transfers, and I've just spotted the deal of the window, and no one can deny is Matty Longstaff to Mansfield on loan. That is a hell of a signing for Mansfield.
To Mansfield. What league are they in? League Two now?
I don't
Mansfield.
know.
Let's have a look. Fair play. That's a good signing. That's like one of them like football manager signings you do like at the beginning of the game, and they just like run riot in a really poor league. Yeah, they're in League Two. Fair play.
What other transfers stand out, JC? Are you looking through the list?
Yeah, I'm just skimming over. I think Digne's move came out of nowhere a little bit, didn't it? He just sort of said, "I don't like Rafa Benitez," and peaced out.
Do you know what the random thing is though? Because he left because of Rafa, but then they sacked Rafa.
Yeah.
They got rid of Marcel Brands as well, the director. Everything. It's a complete rebuild over
there. They need it. They need it.
Luca Dean as well. What a player! On his day, he's fantastic.
Yeah, he's a very good player. Like, it's a shame that they had to get rid of him. But the problem is with Everton, they spent so much in previous windows. That's why they didn't spend anything in summer, because they've got no. As far as I know, they've got no wiggle room. Like, if you look at like some of their signings over the last couple of seasons, they've like some serious money for some very average players.
Yeah, and when you look at that squad now, they've got nothing to show for that.
Well, exactly. Like the thing is, if they want to try and sell to try and buy Van der Beek, for example, I don't see where that could come from, because like the only decent players who would be worth anything, I think, are Richarlison, Anthony Gordon.
He looks quite tidy. I like him. I'm a fan of his, and Ramsey as well from Aston Villa. He looks a tidy player.
Yeah, he does look like a good player. He does. And he played quite a lot under Dean Smith at Ramsey as well. I'm not sure recently, but I know he played a lot under Dean Smith.
I think he scored against United, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
I think so. And that was when Gerrard took over.
Can't remember. But no, he's a good player, and he's only he's 20 apparently.
Yeah, he scored the first goal, and then Coutinho with the second.
El Ghazi to Everton's a bit of a weird one as well, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
Why?
They just signed absolute like crap.
And that move happened after they sacked Rafa?
Nathan Patterson for 16 mil.
From who?
From Rangers, was it? Yeah. He's supposed to be quite decent though. He's quite young, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I'm just looking at names.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Everton, I'm looking at their things now.
20 years old.
Nathan Patterson. Where does he play?
I think he's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder. Anyhow, Donny gets benched there. I'm actually going to try.
Oh yeah, how do you feel as a United fan? I'm sure he's probably been asked already, but how do you feel about Van der Beek going to there rather than here?
Mate, I wanted him to go to you lot. I just think under Vieira, just the system, I think would have suited him better. The football you guys play as well, and what Patrick's trying to do over there. It made a lot more sense for me, footballing wise. Yeah,
I did quite an in-depth analysis about him the other day, and I thought he would have fit in our midfield as one of the central midfield, not the holding midfielder, one of the other two. I thought he would have fit in perfectly, because from what I could understand, from what I saw and what I watched and stuff, he seems like a very good player, in between the boxes. But he's not the kind of player that would thread through the last through ball that would get an opportunity type thing. He seems to be much more he connects the defense to the attack very well. But he's not the 1-2
touch passing, ball retention, possession play. All of that stuff, and those late runs into the box and that as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Conor Gallagher has done so well with us this season. I just hope that Everton don't play him as an attacking midfielder.
They've got Ali in now, haven't they? So I assume he's going to be in the 2, probably next to Allen. I think Decore's injured. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. We'll have to wait and see what Frank does.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be interesting to see what Frank Lampard does with the players he's got. 'Cause obviously at Chelsea, he had a lot more at his disposal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also he had the financial war chest of any team ever, really.
Oh,
He could have
yeah. And
bought
then
anyone, and he bought everyone, and he still didn't perform.
yeah, true. He bought all the players in exactly the same position.
Exactly. He bought. So what? He bought Ziyech to play on the wing, but he benched him. He bought Werner to play up front, so he played him on the wing. And he bought Havertz to play in midfield, but played him up front. And you're thinking, what is happening?
Yeah, I didn't understand none of that. I think the Chelsea job did come a bit. Don't get me wrong, he did very well in his first season with Chelsea, but the kind of impression I got from other Chelsea fans was like he kind of didn't do that well in the second or thereafter.
Yeah, I think he was propelled into that job a bit too quickly, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
I
if
think so.
If it wasn't for their transfer embargo, I'm not even sure if they would have gone for him at that time.
No.
Yeah, and
No.
he only got it because his name is Frank Lampard.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and what he means to the club and his association with it.
Yeah, exactly. If his name was Steve Sidwell, I don't think he'd have been too.
But Brush, what do you think about Martial on his way out to Sevilla?
So initially, when Ragnick came in, I was thinking, do you know what? This is probably a chance for him to, come and reintroduce himself. Because I do like Martial. He's got a lot of good qualities. But I was under the impression that this was probably last chance saloon for him anyway. So I kind of expected him to leave at the end of the season. This is good. This is gives him a case. This gives him the perfect opportunity to showcase his talents and lets everyone see what he can do. And if he does well, depending on our managerial situation in the summer, if a new manager comes in, they may decide to keep him. Who knows?
And probably the last United player I want to talk about is Ahmad Diallo, because we were looking at him for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he seemed to have scored on his debut for Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tap in, but you got to be there to tap it in, right?
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for him as well. He would have gone to Feyenoord at the start of the season if it had it not been for injury. So yeah, I'm hoping he just needs first team football, to be honest. He needs to be playing week in, week out. The only concern I have is that the Scottish League is not what it used to be. It's nowhere near as competitive as it used to be. So the levels are a bit low.
True. I mean, yeah. I guess they must be doing something right because Edward obviously came from Celtic.
Yeah.
And he must have learned something there because he's come to the Premier League and done well. And to be fair, where was he? Where's he gone to? Rangers.
Yeah, he's gone to Rangers.
At least with Rangers, at least he'll get possibly some European experience as well. But obviously, they seem to have not done as well since Gerrard's gone. So.
Yeah, but he's still very young, and like I say, he just needs game time because overall in his career, he's not seen senior minutes.
Is he a youth player of yours, or is he?
Oh, we signed him. We paid stupid money for him. Signed him from Atalanta. I think he played a total of 6 minutes of first team football for Atalanta when we signed him. Paid 18 million up front. With all the add-ons, it could reach 40 million one day.
Wow,
it's madness. It's madness.
Well, to be fair, it could look like a steal, but it could look like
but you got to play him, Brady.
I was getting to that part. I was saying that it could look like a steal in a couple of years, but right now it looks like a colossal waste of money.
Yeah, especially because with our lot, they don't really rotate either. So, players just get wasted. So, yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy for him.
Wow.
Is there any other transfers you guys will want to touch on, whether that's Premier League, the league, wherever?
What other big transfers happened?
I know Vlahovic.
I can't really. Not a lot. I feel like not a lot. I feel like bar Newcastle, no one really made that many signings this January.
Do you think those signings will keep them up? With Trippier, Woods, Bruno, Target on loan, and bloody Dan Burn. He's definitely revolutionising.
Mate, he's 6'7".
Mate, him versus that Weghorst is going to be a tasty little battle.
Newcastle played Burnley in the last game of the season.
Oh, that could be a proper. That could be a proper.
That's a 6 point.
Person who loses gets relegated thing.
Yeah, literally. I don't think they will, to be honest. I think that had Norwich kept tanking as they were, I probably would have said they would stay up. But I think now Norwich are in the play. That's like 4 other teams that they're trying to battle against to stay up. I don't think they'll have it in the tank, regardless of the signings they've made, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite difficult for them now. But, I mean, this year it's going to go right down to the wire, isn't it? So, yeah. Game week 38, I reckon we're all going to be looking on thinking, oh, my God, who's going to go down? Who's going to stay up? It's going to be one of them
100%. 100%. I mean, the Premier League table at the moment is... I mean, Burnley are bottom with 12 points, but that's because they haven't played any games since July, I think.
They've got a couple of games in hand, haven't they? It's mad.
Yeah, they've played 18 games so far this season. And then Watford the second bottom, 20 games, 14 points. Then it's Newcastle, 21 games, 15 points. Norwich, 22 games, 16 points. And then Everton, 20 games, 19 points. So, I mean... Yeah, it's tight, isn't it? What do you think, Jordan?
I don't know. I think looking at Newcastle, you could probably name at least 3 teams worse off than them right now.
True.
In the case of Norwich, Watford, and Burnley, but the thing that strikes me about it is the difference in managers. I think will probably make the difference, because I do see Roy maybe getting Watford out of it. That's the problem, because that's what he does best, and we've seen it from previous experience. When Eddie Howe starts nosediving, he don't pull back up again. He just keeps going.
Yeah, and
I don't know if the depth behind those players that they've brought in is good enough. Because let's say Bruno gets injured in his first game, then what? They're going to go back to Shelby, and then they're stuffed.
Yeah, you know, new league as well. It's going to take a while for the players to acclimatise.
And Newcastle fans are going to see £40 million going, oh yeah, he's starting every week. But you know, he could start the first game, and then he could just be one of those players that is just not fit for the Premier League. There's brilliant players for the Italian league and the Spanish league, but then when they come to the Premier League, they just don't do it. But when they go back there again, then they'll show their class again. So, you know, it's a big risk for them.
100%. And also, I think Newcastle's problem, like you say, is the lack of depth, because, I mean, Bruno's going to come in, and he's literally
the season.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless of whether he drops like 5 stinkers in a row, he knows he'll be in that team the following week. Like, because at the end of the day, what is his competition? John Joe Shelby.
Yeah, exactly. And as we've seen with Benteke, when Benteke had no competition, he scored 3 goals in 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
When at the end of last year, when he knew that we was probably signing another striker, he scored like 8 goals in 10 games and got himself a new contract. So you see what a little bit of competition does to a player.
100%. And I would probably say the same for Jordan Ayew as well. Like, he saw Elise come in and think, oh shit, and then dropped some unbelievable performances in November.
Yeah, even though he's got no end product, the actual performance that he dropped was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing what a bit of competition can do, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just he's the Ghanaian Adama Traore. no one with no pace.
Yeah, love it.
But yeah, Neil's here saying that Bruno could be another Joe Linton. You know what happened last time they spent £40
I tell you what, as bad as Joe Linton is as a striker, they've done a pretty good job of turning him into a useful midfield man.
Yeah, true.
I've not seen him play midfield, so I still remember him playing up front, and I'm pretty sure the only goal he's ever scored
I was shocked
against
when we
us.
played him. He looks quality in midfield, but then again, that could be because we're waste.
I found the Joe Linton signing so weird because Mike Ashley literally spent no money for like ages, and then drops 40 million on a player. I mean, to be fair to him, before he joined Newcastle, he didn't score any goals either. Like I can't remember I think he played for like Hoffenheim or something like that, and he still only scored like 2 goals in like 50 games or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it was mad. He wasn't. It wasn't like a Sebastian Haller where he had a goal scoring record before West Ham came in for him, because I remember they paid big money for him. I think he was 45 million.
Yeah, and then they sold him for 20 to Ajax. Didn't they?
Yeah, he's been balling out at Ajax though. He's found his level there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing with for Ajax. The same thing with Tadic. He was dead at Southampton, but he
had his moments though. He had his moments.
30 goal a season winger out there.
Yeah. I guess, like you say, some players are just built for certain leagues, aren't they? And to be fair, the way Ajax play as well, I mean,
it's hard not to score, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. And again, I guess kind of similar to like the Scottish League in a way, is that Eredivisie. I mean, Ajax are probably, well, I don't know these days, but Ajax are probably the best team by quite some distance.
I think the next one's probably PSV, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, back in the day, like PSV used to get to like quarterfinals of the Champions League and stuff. Now I barely even hear about them.
The amount of players that those two clubs used to produce, though, is crazy. It's just a conveyor belt of talent.
Insane.
But PSV have still got some good players in there, especially ones that Palace would like. They got Sangare, they got Madueke. They've got some good players.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a real interesting summer for you guys.
Yeah, it will be. Because we got some more. We got our, I guess, our second round of players who are going to be out of contract. I can't remember who's out of contract this summer. I can't remember.
Ayu's gone. Benteke's gone. Wilf is next year, so we either got to sell him now or put him on a new deal.
And he's what? He's 29 now, is he?
Zaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Zaha's going to go anywhere, to be honest.
And then Macca, he's out. I think Tompkins and Kelly as well, and I think Gaeta. So we've got a lot of players out of contract again.
Wow. It'll be interesting to see who they decide to keep, to be honest.
Out of all of those players, who would you keep? Because I was going to talk about this with Rich, but we got sidetracked a bit. Because I think the signing of Luca, I think that means Benteke's gone,
Let's see. Wait, sorry, let me just get the list up again. Sorry, what was it? Contract. On transfer marked. I mean, I would probably try and keep Greater. I know his kicking's not that great, but I don't think Butland's the answer, to be honest. I personally think buying a new goalkeeper wouldn't be a bad idea. But I know we've got other places which probably need more addressing, but I don't think that would be a bad idea.
And a new right back.
Yes, I think because it's such
That
a
all
shake.
depends on Ferguson, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It so depends on Ferguson. I watched him in the last 2 under-23 games, and he played well. He played
Yeah,
well, but I
he looked
mean,
pretty good. He's not a centre back though. He played centre back in one of them.
yeah, that was the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
I mean, he played well considering how Liverpool played in that game. They basically played as they do in the first team, to be honest. So he didn't have a lot of time on the ball, and with that in mind, I thought he was good. And obviously, it's great that he's getting minutes. I mean, how much you can say someone's ready based on an under-23 games, that's another story. But
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at it now. So the people who are out of contract is Tompkins, Larislav Yak, Nathaniel Klein, Martin Kelly, Chet Kouyaté, obviously Conor Gallagher, James MacArthur, Schlupp, and Ayew.
Okay. I would probably say I'd be inclined to keep Tompkins because, I mean, when he's come in, has he ever? I know he didn't. He had a bit of a shaky first game when he had to step in this year.
He scored still.
Of course he did. So yeah, I would keep him. Yak, obviously, that's a straight up. See you later.
Yep.
Bless him. Kelly, Klein. I would probably say.
You'd probably want to keep one of the two, right, as a backup.
Yeah, I would. For me, if I had to, I would probably keep Ward over Klein. I'm only saying that just because I think Ward's played a lot more than Klein in the past year or so. But then Ward has been torn apart also at times this year. So I would probably still be inclined just say Ward, and that's really
just
really
for
close.
10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Klein only kind of joined us like on a whim, really, if I remember. Like he just kind of started training with us, didn't he?
Yeah, he asked if he could train with us, and we said all right. So we just gave him a temporary deal. So
yeah, exactly. I think it was only ever going to be temporary. I think it's been a lot more. I think it's been longer than it was intended, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think that he wouldn't still be on the books if Ferguson was fit.
No, definitely not. Martin Kelly. See, I feel Martin Kelly's always been very underrated at Palace. I think he's always. I think apart from when Pardew decided to play him at attacking left back for some weird reason.
Oh yeah. Don't remind me.
The Pardew years. Apart from then, he's always been very solid for us, and I think he plays better at right back than Tompkins. But I mean, considering Nathan Ferguson is supposedly going to be coming back, do we need a spare right back? Probably not. So I'll probably get rid of Kelly, but hesitantly get rid of him. I would like to keep Kouyaté. I think he's been very, very good when he's come in. And I hate saying it because I don't like slagging anyone off, but I was quite happy when I saw those transfer rumours about Milivojevic going. And once he goes, who do we have in the midfield, defensive midfield? Kouyaté and Riedewald. Debatably Riedewald. So he'll be our only defensive midfielder, and he plays the role well. So I would like to keep him.
Gallagher.
I mean, if the price is right, and Chelsea would get rid, then yeah. The only thing with Gallagher is that I think, and I don't think he's good enough for Chelsea at the moment. I think Conor Gallagher is a system player. He plays very, very well in our system. And I saw someone point out the other day that since James McArthur got injured, has Conor Gallagher played, by the Everton game, can I remember a game where Conor Gallagher's played extremely well? I don't know if it's just because I'm now expecting it. I don't know. But I don't think at the moment he would get into that Chelsea midfield. Sorry, one sec. I just need to take a call.
But yeah, I think I would probably agree with Dan here, wouldn't you, Brush? That he's probably not there yet for Chelsea.
Yeah, and also the way Chelsea operate, bro, they like to just work with the finished articles or anything close to that, don't they? So I think there might be an opportunity where you guys could sign him permanently, but it will come with a buyback clause.
Like everything does with Chelsea.
Yeah. They like
that Gallagher.
They like to have a contingency plan, don't they? So
yeah, in case.
I think that'll be the
100%.
best case scenario, that you guys manage to get him, but it'll be with a clause.
Yeah, definitely. Because they offloaded that what's his name, that Tino Livramento to Southampton with a buyback clause. Only like 20 mil as well, which is, considering how good I think he'll be, is pretty crazy.
They put a buyback clause on Tammy as well.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
I didn't know
60, was it 60 million?
60 million.
That's Jesus. that's bad. To be honest, so I was just saying, I was extremely happy that they didn't put one on Mark Gay's one, to be honest. But yeah,
they did. That's what 20 million.
How much?
I think it's 20 million. I think they can buy him back for exactly what we bought him for.
Is there an expiry on that, George? You know?
I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that.
If there isn't an expiry period on it, that's mental.
Wow, learn something new every day. That's saddened me a little bit.
But yeah, I think when it comes to Gallagher and Chelsea, where does he fit? So he doesn't play. He doesn't play Jorginho's role, so you can rule that one out straight away. Would you say he's better than Kovacic? I don't know, maybe. And who else do they play in midfield? What, Havertz? Mason Mount? He's not getting in front of Mason Mount.
Well, the last against Spurs, they played a three-man midfield. Jorginho in the holding role, Kovacic on the left, and then Mason Mount on the right. So,
yeah. So if Gallagher goes back, he's going to be holding bench.
Well, exactly. I can't see him getting ahead of those two.
Yeah, he's gonna hold bench. But then again, if he's holding bench, that probably means he plays in every European game. And if he plays every European game, because Chelsea are always in Champions League and go far in the cup in every cup, he'll probably still get a 20, 30 game season, even if he's holding bench.
Yeah, true. I guess, yeah, that's a blessing for them because they have to rotate so much because, I mean, they must play upwards of 50 games a season?
Yeah.
Mateta's just cleared it up. It's not a buyback clause on GUI. It's they've got I think they've got first refusal. So if you accept a bid, and they match it, then you have to.
Okay.
That's not that bad.
All right, moving on to Jimmy Mack.
Well, there's only one answer to that in there. I love him. I mean, for me, I actually think he's probably our most important player.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way I can't say no to him.
Schlapp.
I would say keep as well, just for the fact that he's so versatile. Like he could theoretically, he plays in midfield now, but we bought him as a left back, and he can also, if need be, play as a left winger as well. So I think just for versatility's sake, I would say yeah. And also as well, a lot of these players, it's not like we could keep them and then it's not like we were going to be able to sell them for a lot anyway, so we wouldn't gain that much out of. It's just the wages, really, I think.
Yeah. And then finally, Ayew.
I would keep him as well. Again, he's had a good season. I think I would like to think that, again, for competition's sakes, I think it will help Michael Elise, definitely.
Yeah.
And also as well, I don't know how big of an impact mentoring is in these things, but I think I would like to think Michael Elise would also learn some stuff about like how Jordan Ayew plays, maybe like the way he holds up the ball sometimes is absolutely unreal. So yeah, I would keep him.
Cool. I think that's everything.
Would you more or less agree with that, or?
Yeah, I think. And I think I would keep. I think I'd keep Kelly as well, for the main fact of Tompkins is very injury prone in himself.
That's true.
So let's say if Anderson goes and then you look to your bench and then you find out Tompkins has got injured in training, then you're thinking shit.
True. That's true.
And Kelly, I don't think I've ever remembered Kelly being injured, full stop.
No, I can't. No.
And if I one stat out about Kelly the other day, though, which I thought was quite amazing, he's never scored a Premier League goal. He's only ever scored in the Cup.
Oh, yeah, he scored against Spurs, didn't he?
Yeah, so he's never scored a Premier League goal.
That's mad. And he's been around for years. He used to play for like Liverpool as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, because didn't he used to play as a right? I'm sure like he was he a right back at Liverpool? I can't remember now. That was such a long time ago. I mean, like, he's 31. I remember when he first started playing football, so.
I think the thing that we'll finish the stream on today is the fact that Kevin Friend will not be refereeing a Premier League match this week.
Good. They should have thrown Craig Pawson in that as well, to be honest.
Yeah. Because the thing is, whatever happens this week, all referees are going to stick with what their original thought was, even if it's a Stonewall penalty by VAR. They're just going to do it so that they make a point so that the referee can stand by what the decision made on pitch. I think they're going to do that just for the sake of proving a point. Like someone could be conned out of some points or goals here.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, I think they said on Match of the Day or something like that. They said like something about how there was another ref, or it might have even been Kevin Friend. They should have given a penalty when they didn't the other day, and they were saying how that influenced his decision against us and stuff.
Yeah, it was a thing of Newcastle City, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
when,
it. Yeah.
Edison cleaned out. He cleaned out Callum Wilson or someone like that, and it wasn't given.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's 49 times the ref has been to the monitor. 49 times have they changed their mind.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, to be honest, when you're in the stadium and you see the referee going over to the monitor, you're like, it's going to be a penalty. They wouldn't have called him over if they didn't think it was going to be a penalty. So, yeah, I think that was a pretty good stream. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up the window quite nicely.
Anything you guys have to
add? No, I think that's about it, really. Yeah, that's it. All good.
All right, yeah, Dan, do you want to shout out your Twitter and your little blogs that you put out?
Yes. So my handle is down to 10. At the moment, it's just mainly a blog. I do one every day, not just about Palace, about like lots of different things. I do like to put an emphasis either on football history or on like statistical analysis. So I did a breakdown of why Van der Beek would have been good at us, which obviously gave it the kiss of death. So, maybe I should think before I send them. It's going to be a bit slow over the coming months just because I'm going to be away. But I'm still hoping to get a blog out, if not every day, then every other day. So, yeah, That's where you can find me.
Cool. Brush, I know you're kicking about on Twitter and Instagram these days.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Brushy87, and that's about it.
Nice.
Cool. Oh, we've got someone calling in at the last second.
Oh.
How you doing, Luca?
Big up, man. And how are you, man?
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. So you got anything to add about this transfer window for Arsenal?
I'm hurt, man. As an Arsenal fan, I'm really, really hurt because I did a video yesterday, and I was saying about I think it's been a very disappointing transfer market for Arsenal, the whole board, and like, why would you get rid of your best striker? Right. Okay, I know he's not really on good form, but why would you get rid of your best striker for 350 grand a week if you're not actually going to be replacing someone? May not even actually be the level what he was a few years ago, but at least someone, you bring someone in, even like a Dominic Calvert-Lewin or someone like that. You bring someone like that, then go and get the other strikers in the summer. And what really annoys me is that Arsenal Football Club waiting until the last minute, right? And I had hope at the beginning of the transfer market. I thought we were going to bring a couple of decent signings. 4-6 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? We've got a good chance of getting to the top 4, top 6. Arsenal looking good, banging teams like Leeds and Norwich. The process is working. But now, why would you sell your best striker 350 grand a week, right? Going from a loan deal, right, to a free transfer, where we actually could have got money for him, right? He had 18 months left on his contract. How much do you reckon Aubameyang's worth in 18 months? I say about 25 million, yeah? At least you would have took the money. And this football club, yet again, has gone backwards and backwards and backwards. Like, over the years, we have let so many players down on the free. Alexis Sanchez, Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, Mesut Ozil, Mustafi, Socrates, all these players all on a free and got no money out of it. It's shocking. It's just shocking to see. And for me, I'd love to be optimistic, and I would always back my team on the day, yeah, when on a match day, yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't see no confidence in this team anymore. And this manager, Arteta and Edu, right, have put ourselves into a horrible mess now, right? Running down your best striker, right? Getting rid of his 18-month contract where we could have got money. Why was this not being solved in the beginning of the transfer window? We were talking about at the beginning of the transfer window, we were talking about we needed midfielders, right? When all these players had COVID during the both semi-final legs against Liverpool, when they had their game called off, we had our game called off due to COVID, even the North London derby. It's shocking, and we needed a couple of midfielders. And if Arsenal Football Club would have got those couple of additions in, we would have been fine. Or even keep Aubameyang to the end of the season, right? But now we have put ourselves into a massive, massive mess now, right? We have let so many players, and we've let 6 players gone, and also we've just let them go, and we're leaving it all acids and all, and we've let all these players go. And we need Arsenal Football Club to just have a habit now of running players down to their contracts. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And this is why this manager is not good enough. Saliba. I'm watching Marseille tonight. And Saliba, right, has played one friendly game, right? And that was against MK Dons, right? Guendouzi has scored tonight, yeah? Guendouzi almost got the second goal just right now, right? He is kidding it at the moment, right? He's better than Granit Xhaka. He's better than El Neni. And this manager, right, how am I supposed to back this team, right, if you're selling your best players, right, running down their contracts?
Do you think that's the reason why Arsenal were sort of in a freefall since Arsene Wenger's left?
I think it is, because at the end of the day, right, it's allowing us, right, ever since Wenger's left, the club's been in a mess. It's been in a mess, and for me, we had opportunities to sell these big players, because over the years we've sold all these players. Like Alexis got offered to Man City once for 60 million, and we could have got Mahrez, right? If a player wants to leave, you sell them for the money. Or if you want to get rid of them, right, you sell them for the money. You don't run down their contracts. And when Aubameyang did, when we won the FA Cup in 2020, right, we gave Aubameyang that big money. And at the time, you're thinking, you know what? You sign this guy down to a contract, right? And now he had 18 months left on his contract before he left yesterday. You're thinking, you know what? Okay, Arsenal are actually signing down their best player, right? And he was scoring goals in that season when Arsenal won the FA Cup 2 years ago. And for me, you're thinking, right, because when we won the FA Cup, I didn't think he wasn't going to sign a new deal, and he did at the time. And you think, you know what, Arsenal might be showing some signs now of actually stopped selling players. And now we've gone back to this situation. And for me, ever since Arsene Wenger left, the club's been in a massive mess. When Unai Emery came in, right, he was only been told to only been given 50 million, right? Emery got us in right, in his first season, right? He got us into a Europa League final and was 1 point off top 4 and 2 points off third, right? Emery knows how to win the Europa League. The thing is, Unai Emery, right? I wish we kind of kept him in a way, because if we knew that Mikel Arteta was coming in, we would have kept Unai Emery. So for me, since Arteta's come in, our fan base have just gone absolutely mad. And for me, they're just, why can someone tell me why that people think that Arteta was the right man for the job? Because for me, I don't think he isn't. I never wanted this manager in the first place. We need an experienced manager, but we've got an owner who sits in America, right, who doesn't give two bullshits about Arsenal, right? And for me, it's just a joke. Like, you're selling all your players, running down their. It has to stop. Literally, it has to stop, because for me, our top 4 chances, mate, are looking slim. And for me, we have to pray that we hope we keep the likes of Lacazette, Smith Rowe, Partey, all fit, right? Gabriel, Ramsdale. We've got to hope we keep these players. What were you going to say, Brush?
No, I wasn't going to say anything, mate.
Okay.
On the subject of Aubameyang, though, I think the problem is the wages he was on and the age he's at. I'm not sure how much you would have got for him in the open market. I don't think too many clubs would have been keen to pay a fee.
The thing is, they were saying
on top
Sky
of trying to
Sports
cover those
yesterday,
wages.
They were saying on Sky Sports yesterday, or the day before deadline day, they were saying if you sell Aubameyang now, you would probably only get about 7 million. But with 18 months left on his contract, surely you can get about 20 to 25 million.
I don't think so with the age he's at. If he was if he was younger, then maybe.
Well, you know,
Especially
even if he started scoring goals, and if Arteta would have forgiven and say, you know what, we'll play into the end of the season, right? And if Aubameyang can prove to the manager, right, and start getting his form like he did 2 or 3 years ago, don't you think the price value wouldn't have gone up?
I'll tell you what. If it was a loan move to Barcelona till the end of the season, and he started bagging goals, then you might have got something for him in the summer.
That's the thing, and that's the thing, and for me, right, we have put ourselves into this mess, Brush, because from going from a loan deal, you're thinking, you know what, yeah, okay, fair enough. We were linked with players like Morata and Diego Costa, and I said,
Diego Costa is actually a free agent right now, isn't he?
He is. I'd take him to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a striker.
Yeah, no, it does leave you guys really light up top. I don't understand why there isn't a replacement being brought in. But with regards to getting rid of him, I can only assume that, they have big plans in the summer and they're just sort of freeing up funds for that.
Even if there was plans in the summer, mate, January was a must. And now this is another opportunity where Arsenal Football Club, the board have gone like, nah, we're okay, mate. We've got the squad to get top 4. They proved that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think, especially with where you guys have found yourselves in the league, I don't think you were expecting to be there. But now that you're there, you're like, well, this is a real opportunity now to grab that 4th spot. But, with that, you need investment.
But to be honest, right, the way I just feel, in my opinion, I just feel, yes, I know we've improved in some circumstances and that, but at the end of the day, and the thing is, people expected those 3 games at the start of the season. We went into the international break in September with no points whatsoever. No one expected us to try and challenge for top 4 or top 6. So I just feel, yes, there has been a little bit of improvement. We have brought Aaron Ramsdale in. When we first signed him, I didn't think he wasn't going to be the answer. Going out paying all
I
that
think
money.
a lot of people were surprised by Lapa Ramsdale, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
But Aaron Ramsdale, he's come in and he's been very good. And Tommy Asu as well. I think he's a decent signing.
He's a good player.
Yes, in the last few games, he's not been great because he's just come back from injury. Ben White, for me, I don't rate Ben White. But
I've never rated Ben White.
I never rated Ben White, but you have if you had to pay the money, you have to pay his English tax. We should. Why? Saliba's playing well tonight. Saliba this season is so far made 20 clean sheets in 30 games or something like that. So at the end of the day, he's proven a point. And I know a lot of people might say, yes, it's a French league and all that stuff, and he's only played 1 friendly game against Arsenal, but he's already proven it. And I know the people might say the French league is a bit okay, yeah, but he could prove it. He's good. Real Madrid are looking at him. Real Madrid are looking at William Saliba in the summer, and he could be that next Varane. So at the end of the day, why can Arsenal just not keep someone like Saliba? You didn't need to go out and sign 50 million on Ben White. He could have been a replacement for David Luiz. So, and then we bring Lokonga in. He's good for the future. I like Sambi Lokonga. I think he's a good little player, but he's not ready yet. You need players in now. You need that kind of experience. Arsenal should have got someone like a Jimmy Wijnaldum until the end of the season. To the end of the season, his experience, he's a Champions League winner, he's a Premier League winner, he's a Club World Cup winner, he's won everything. So for me, yes, he's 31, but you look at Kante, he's 31. So Kante doesn't play like a 31-year-old, he plays younger. So for me, you get someone like that, or you go and get Ruben Neves as well. And then striker, yes, okay, Arsenal apparently were chasing Dusan Vlahovic for the whole 24 days of the transfer market. And Arsenal apparently were trying. I don't believe any of that. But you go and get someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Okay, Calvert-Lewin, yes, I know a lot of people disagreed with me because he's just come back from injury. And I know Everton are not going to send him because they're in a relegation fight and they've just got a manager in. But at least actually try and get someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because for me, yes, I don't think he isn't worth 60 million. But you need a striker, man. Like he's Premier League proven.
Well, yeah, he's some good points, and obviously, thank you for calling in, Luca.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me on, man. And
no problem. But yeah, this is Eagle Eye Football, and we're out. Peace.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
bye.